Not everybody are related on earth. So that lies that Adam is the father of everybody, especially the Adam 6,000 years ago, that's a lie. So everybody are not related. Everybody are not related. Everybody did not come from the guy 6,000 years ago. No. So there are some people you can see on earth, you can see they're very close to animals. The way they think, the way they act, the way you can see, when you compare them with certain animals, like, yo, you sure this is not a two-legged dog walking? You know, you know, you sure you guys didn't come from the same parents? So that's one of the topic I'm gonna have also to break down. Everybody on earth are not brothers and sisters. They're not even cousins. They're not related. They are different species walking around. They did not come from the same father. And definitely not the guy 6,000 years ago, Adam. Now, let me say this. Not genealogy, chronology. Talking about science of time. I already said you can definitely pinpoint Adam when he was around. Definitely pinpoint him. 6,000 years ago. No more. It would be 4,000 BC. Because if you take 4,000 years of BC, you add 2,000 years of AD, you get 6,000 years. So even I can start from Adam and bring it up to here. It still adds up to 6,000 years. I can take it from here and go back to Adam. It still equals to 6,000 years. No matter how you do it. I can do it forward or backward. Anyway. So I already did it from Adam to here. Now I'm going to do it from here to Adam. From here, the year 2022 to Jesus times, the time they said Jesus was around, or the Caesars, the Roman Caesars walking around, that's 2,000 years, because we're 2022. So that's 2,000 years so far. Now from Jesus, we got to find let me use the Bible, because I can also use other people's history when this leader was around. So you jump from here to Jesus, 2,000 years. So now, 180, you go back 1,000 years. A prominent character that was living 1,000 years before Jesus, King David, King Solomon, around the same time, 1,000 years. So King David was around 1,000 BC. So from Jesus' time to King David, that's 1,000 BC. Before the Common Era. That's what BCE, actually. BCE, before the Common Era. So from Jesus to King David, that's 1,000 years. So far, you take 2,000 years, at the 1,000 years from Jesus to King David. So far, that's 3,000 years. So we counting very quick. King David now. You got to go 1,000 years before King David. Just using the Bible. Let's see somebody famous 1,000 years before King David. We're going to say Abraham. So you would say, well, Abraham must have been around 2000 BC or 1800 BC, around that time. I'm not pinpointing exactly like whether Abraham was around, 1945 BC. No, around that time. So from King David to Abraham, that's another 1,000 years. So far we had 3,000, so we add 4,000. 4,000 years so far. From me to Abraham. That's 4,000 years. Now, let me think of somebody 1,000 years before Abraham that walked the earth. I said, okay, let me do the math. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, Noah. 1,000 years before Abraham. When you really do the time, you really add all the time this person was born, and then his son, and this, you'll find out that Abraham and Noah, before Noah died, Abraham was already out here. So that means Abraham probably knew Noah, if you do the math. So before Noah died, Abraham been born So no, Abraham probably went to Noah's house and talked to him before he died. Maybe Noah was right. Well, according to that time, Noah, 900 some years. You know. So now, because the reason I'm doing this, I remember I was just watching a show. A little debate and Israelite debate on Sonetta TV. And then, it was Israelite versus Kemetic people, people that believe in the Egyptology thing. And then one of them trying to bully the other one, the other group, the Kemetic dude was trying to bully the Israelite and say, okay, how about you give me the time? Oh, his name was something Harris. He was on the phone. He was trying to bully him. How about you give me the time of when that person was around? And the Israelite guy was like, oh, that, I don't know. I'm like, oh, really? That's like basic, very basic. So I'm like, damn, what I wish it was me. Yeah, so what about this guy? When was this guy around? So now let me get back to the point. So from Abraham to Noah, so that's another 1,000 years. So far that equals to 5,000 years of history so far, from Noah to me, 5,000 years. Because a lot of times people, when they hear the word Adam, it's like, oh wow, that's probably 10 million years ago. Oh, long time, because he's the father of everybody. So from Abraham to Noah, another 1,000 years. So that's 5,000 years so far. Now Noah, let's see who can I use now? 1,000 years before Noah's birth. Does the Bible even say anything? Well, I can either say Eve, I can say Adam, or I can say the serpents, because those three were having a conversation. So they were around the same time. So I would say from the birth of Noah to when the serpent was talking to Adam to get him to eat some edible fruits, maybe some drugs, some weed, whatever, some voodoo, whatever he was giving to Adam and Eve. But it looks like it was more voodoo, whatever voodoo he was teaching them, to zombify them, turn them to zombies, and they die. And then they become God after they die. That's voodoo right there. Because in voodoo, once you die, you are a big voodoo guy. Then after your death, 1 year and 1 day, they have this celebration. They're going to turn you to a god, which is a voodoo loi. Which is now your family can start praying to you now, as if that's going to help you with anything. That doesn't help with nothing. So when you really compare voodoo, the voodoo ideology, the voodoo religion, the voodoo teaching, with what the serpents was teaching Adam and Eve, it is definitely voodoo. The religion voodoo. That's why a lot of people can say, well, voodoo's got to be the oldest religion, period, in the world. But at least you can trace it back to the serpent. And coincidentally, voodoo is also called the cult of the serpents. Wow. It's just like the when I tell people you got Zeus, you can't see Jesus is Hercules. When you hear Zeus, then you hear Jesus' name, Jesus. You don't see Zeus in there. So it's the same thing with the serpent teaching something. The serpent tell them, okay, I'm going to turn you to a god. In the voodoo religion, people do turn to gods. In fact, all the gods are people used to live in, and somebody, after they die, they turn them to a god and they worship them. It's the same thing with Hercules, Horus, Isis, all these people supposedly they live, and then after they die, they turn them to a god. It's the same thing with Nimrod. That's what humans' religions is, just teaching people to worship dead people. Just like the Egyptian, or people now are African, who's into that African thing, say, well, the ancestors, the ancestors are going to help you, worshiping the ancestors. People worshiping people. People worshiping dead people. If I didn't worship you when you were alive, why the hell would I worship you after you die? I don't even understand this. This is weird. It's that Jesus thing. After he died, people worship him. If I didn't worship you when you were alive, what makes you think after you die, I'm going to worship you? That makes me even more stupid. You know, when you were alive, we were just buddies. We're cool. We go to the club. We chill. We do things. Whatever it is. We go to the movies. We do things. And after you die, I'm gonna worship you. When you were alive, I didn't worship you. What makes you think I'm gonna worship you after you die? Why should anyone worship you after you die? That's some crazy stuff. So let me get back to the voodoo thing. Let me get back to the voodoo thing. To show you how voodoo and the thing the serpent was teaching is the same thing, which is also Christianity. Voodoo, Christianity is a fake voodoo. Now, a lot of Haitians already know that. A lot of people's into voodoo. What do you think Haitians, even though they go to the church thing, they always fall back on voodoo because in their mind like, yo, Christianity is like, that's a fake voodoo. If I was gonna follow some religion that has power, Christianity would be the last one. That's the weakest religion. You sick? They say, "Oh, I'm gonna pray for you." Then you stay sick and you die. There's no power in this at all. At least with voodoo, they say, "Well, we're gonna call a voodoo priest. Oh, he's gonna take some herbs here, some herb, and mix it. Okay, drink this. Okay, all right, I'm good." You know, but if you get sick, you go to church. The pastor gonna say, "Oh, let me pray for you. Let me put my hand on you." And then you're gonna be okay. And then a week later you die because you go and listen to this pimp, this liar. So voodoo is the weakest religion. Let me help you people a little bit who want to who's thinking if voodoo versus Christianity, which one to do. Listen, you'll be an idiot to pick Christianity over voodoo. Voodoo's way more powerful than not half of the things in voodoo I don't believe that they can do them. All the spiritual things, somebody can do some voodoo thing here and send a spiritual come and hit do something bad to me in my house like remotely. That's not happening. But as far as the poison, somebody take the voodoo poison and throw it on you, you better run. It is gonna work. Poison do work. So the holy water they have in Christianity and the holy water they have in voodoo, I rather somebody hit me with the holy water from Christianity before somebody hit me, versus somebody hit me with the holy water in voodoo. That whatever water they have in voodoo, they throw it on you. It would have been better if you let the pastor throw whatever toilet water they have in their church on you. Then you have a better chance. So yeah, voodoo, Christianity compared to voodoo is that's like a big pit bull versus a roach. The roach has a big lion fighting a roach. The roach has no chance at all. No chance. So I'm not trying to big up voodoo because I don't believe in voodoo. But half of the thing they do, the physical part they do, yeah, it will work. If you go drink some voodoo poison, it will work. Whatever voodoo powder they do to mix with this and this, some dead people's body with some puffer fish and all this thing, they concocted into a potion and they throw that on you, you're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel, but the other stuff when the people change their voice, they say, this woman just sitting down and now she changed her voice to a man. Oh yeah, that's all garbage. That's all lies. That's what I'm telling to all you Haitian or whoever else believe in that thing. You're being lied to. That person is an actor that's doing it. An actor or an actress. They know how to change their voice. All the other thing they do, they claim that, I'm doing this, there's some law on that person. There's no law on that person. That person is a good actor, a good actress. They know how to do all this. It's just like in church. When you see the person talking about, they speaking in tongues, they starting speaking some language, that's all lies. That's a bunch of lies. They're speaking in tongues, although speaking in tongues, it was clear that they were speaking another language that people understand. But in our time, when they say they're speaking in tongue and then they start saying, bah, 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 they're like, what was that? Nobody understands, not even the person that said it. And then you got some other idiots thinking, oh, wow, that was Jesus talking to us. No, that was not Jesus. That was that person got some sick thing in their head. They just yell out some garbage, and then you think that was holy language. That's not a holy language. All these religions are nothing but lies. So yeah, let me get back to the voodoo again. To show you real quick, although I want to do a topic on that, a video on that, show you how voodoo and what the serpent was teaching is the same thing, is the exact same thing. So the serpent said, look, I'm gonna turn you to a god. Voodoo said, yeah, I'm gonna turn you to a god. But Voodoo said, I'm gonna turn you to a god, but you gotta die first. The serpent said, the Most High told Adam and Eve, he's gonna kill you first. And the serpent said, no, I'm not really gonna kill you. God is lying. He's trying to stop you guys from having some good stuff for me. This guy, he's jealous. He doesn't want me to turn you to like him. You know, a real God. He was lying. It's the voodoo thing. It's the voodoo thing. So Adam and Eve had to die first. Had to die first for them to turn to a zombie. For them to be like, oh wow, this is, oh wow, this is, oh man, I didn't expect this. Oh wow, that food is so good. Now I think I'm becoming smarter now. I'm seeing better things. Oh wow, I didn't know all this. That's them being turned to a zombie. It's like they were put in a trend, just like a zombie. Just like in voodoo, you have zombie. And then guess what? Coincidentally, zombie in the voodoo religion, if you trace it all the way back to Africa, to the Congolese people in Congo, zombie is the name of their god. They call it and zombie with the N first. Then you have another god called King of Zombie. You got all these zombie thing. You know, well, Hollywood just took the word zombie just because Hollywood, the people who own Hollywood, they have no respect for Negroes or Negroes' religions. They take a good word from these people's religion, from Negroes' religions. That's supposed to be a good word. Say, oh, he's a zombie. Oh, I love, you got this zombie, and he got a wife in the Congo people religion. His name is and Mompangu, whatever, zombie or whatever. Then his wife is another zombie. Then you got a bunch of other zombies. These are all gods. So now Hollywood is gonna go and say, oh, zombies. Okay, they give you a different type of view of zombies. Some other different type of things. But in the voodoo religion, when you will turn to a zombie, you will turn to something powerful, something people will be scared of you. People, you turn to a god. Although you lose, you lose your whole subconsciousness. Like you totally forgot who was your mother, who's your father, who, everything, your name. So you turn to something totally different. Your whole subconsciousness, your whole human subconsciousness, because your subconscious are all the information you put in that you've been collecting since you were a little baby, since you were conscious. And then everything you see, you record it in your subconscious. Everything you see, from a baby until now, that's your subconsciousness. That everything you see a dog, the name is a dog because you put that in your mind. Oh, the dog has a tail. The dog, the dog's breath smell. The dog can bite you. A snake, a chicken, you can fry, you can eat. That's all in your subconsciousness. Now, when they turn into a zombie in that voodoo thing, they erase all that. Now you just you don't know whether you're up or down. But at the same time you turn to something in the voodoo religion, something powerful where the voodoo priest can use that person to go terrorize somebody else. Supposedly that thing has a lot of power and it can, if you see a zombie in Haiti, the minute somebody says zombie, everybody running. You're like, oh, this guy is not somebody to play. It's not something to play with. So that's really a god. So get back to Adam and Eve, the serpent. Now, he zombified Adam and Eve to turn them to a god. What was that god? A zombie. So the serpent was really teaching these people voodoo. So the knowledge of good and evil was really voodoo. And that voodoo religion, like I said, trace it all the way back. You have the Sumerians who reintroduced that religion to people again 5,000 years ago after the flood. Reintroduce it with Nimrod and with Sammy Ramis, who's supposed to be Nimrod's wife, or Ishtar with Tammuz. That's really Jesus. That's really the serpent. Jesus is the serpent because it's the same religion. So the serpent that was talking to Adam and Eve, that's a character like Jesus, like Tammuz, or the Sumerian call him either Tammuz or sometimes Dumuzi. It's the same guy. You know, he's the sun god. This guy, he's the son. And he's his own father at the same time. You know, it's the same thing with Osiris and Horus. You know, it's like this guy, he goes and have sex with his sister, his wife, then he bring himself back to life again. So, supposedly the father, because like they say, there is one God, but in three different things, whatever. Is the father, he's the son, and he's some ghost. So it's really one that equals to three. Well, two dogs, cats, animals, and their math, maybe you can prove to them that 3 is equal to 1. But to people with common sense, to logical people, to people who know math, there's no way 1 is equal to 3. So one God, that is 3 guys. No, that's 3 gods right there. The Bible says you're supposed to only follow one so-called God. That three thing is not 1. They try to make it look like, no, it's still, it's still 1. It's still 1. You know, it's not 3. No, it is 3. Jesus is not his father. So it's one God with 3 guys. Any way you look at it, it's like, mathematically, that's a lie. Because when Jesus was inside the belly, what happened to his father? His father was still there, so they're not the same. So, anyway, human beings trying to break it down, like, no, this is really, you know, that Trinity garbage, which is the Egyptian thing, which is the Sumerian things. Anyway, they're trying to break it down, it makes no sense. Mathematically, it makes no sense. 3 person equals to 1. No. Even to little kids, they had $3. And you take the $3 from them. You give them 1 back, they'll know like, no. You took 3 from me. You know, even the little kids, if you take $3 single dollars from them, they don't understand money yet. You give them $5, that $5 with Lincoln face on it, they're gonna start crying and say, look, I gave you 3 money because I have kids. I have tested that. You take 3 money from them, then you give them 1 money back, even if it's $100. Then you try to explain to them, no, I took $3 from you, then I give you this 100. They don't understand yet. You're like, no. They would rather get their 3 money back. You give them their $3 back because they're gonna keep crying. No. You try to explain to them, no, son, this is really $100. It's 100 of you only took 3. The kid's gonna be crying. I have tried that with my kids when they were little, when they didn't understand money yet. Later on, they understood. Like, okay, well, yeah, okay, you can just take $1 and turn it to, you know, something bigger. You can take $3 and turn it to something bigger and 1. So that's what Christianity is doing to people. It's almost like the 3 gods, the Trinity, somehow, you know, it's 3 single dollars equals to 1 big $5. That's that 1 God. You see, in money, it makes sense. Like, if they had a $3 bill, then you could have said the 3 single dollars is equal to the $3 bill. But with gods, it makes no sense. So you people teaching that garbage, you need to go back and learn math. That makes no sense. You know how many times I sit down with a Christian or pastor or whatever? Now, yo, break this thing down. All of them, when they try to break it down, like, you make no sense still. Go ahead, break it down again. You know, okay, they say, no, really, you know, the last time I spoke to a friend of mine, his name is Russo. He's trying to be he's trying to be a pastor or whatever. He's like, yo, Eddie. That's my government name, Eddie. Eddie. I think I'm the only guy really understand what the Trinity really means. All these people in church, they don't understand it. I'm like, go ahead, break it down. And then they try to break it down like, yo, you sound just as stupid as the other ones. You still, there's no way you're going to prove that three things equals to one thing. There's no way. In money, yes, you can take $5, 5 singles, and then you turn it to a $5. With the one with Lincoln on it. Yes. In money you can do this. But in God, you cannot do it. So I hope I did explain a little bit how whatever the serpent was teaching Adam and Eve, whatever they did to them, that is voodoo. But the only thing is, it looks like the voodoo the serpent had is way more powerful than the voodoo they have now. Because the serpent messed them up so bad, even after they had kids, they still had a child, Cain, that acted as if that child's father was the serpent himself. So the serpent guy must have been a real good scientist. Like, he knew a lot of stuff. He must have brought them somewhere and play with their DNA and change them, and then after this, then they got messed up, not just mentally, physically. They got totally messed up. Physically, mentally, spiritually, to the point where even when they had kids, their kids got messed up. So that serpent wasn't just any guy. So that voodoo was a super voodoo. So so the voodoo now is a fake little voodoo compared to that voodoo. When that serpent zombified them and turned them to that God, like he said he was gonna do, and the Most High told him, no, you're not gonna turn to a God. He's gonna kill you. And then Adam and Eve, well, especially Eve, women are very curious. Women love pretty stuff. So Eve, the minute Eve got hit with that thing, Eve like, oh wow, this is nice, this is pretty. Wow, this fruit, damn, wow, this fruit is, oh wow, this is a good fruit. Wow, I can see that fruit really making me smart now. Now, oh wow, I'm seeing things I didn't see before. See, women are very curious. For the most part, a lot of women are very curious. They like pretty stuff. Men, the only thing a lot of times men see, the men only see only one thing. The men only see the woman. He's only like, okay, this woman, I'm going to live my life with her. She's going to cook me some food. We're going to have sex. And everything he gets, I get money, I'm giving it to you. But the men only see the woman. You see, that's why it says, the woman on the other hand, she saw more than Adam. She saw Adam. She saw the serpent. She wanted to see more than what was there. The man's like, yo, all the men asked the Most High, look, all I need is a woman. That's it. Just give me a wife. Give me somebody. Because right now I'm very lonely. Look. I'm sure you saw the animals. And not only you saw animals, you saw the human beings, other people with their wives. That's what I'm saying. Everybody didn't come from, I didn't even get to the point yet. Everybody didn't come from Adam. So Adam wasn't only seeing animals, they got their wives, the dude got his mate. Adam was seeing other people with that mate. But he's like, yo, while I'm by myself, yeah, I'm in charge of all these things, but I'm still by myself. And then the Most High gave him the woman. It's like, oh, that's all he wanted. His focus was just the woman. So I bet you, while the woman talking to the serpent, the only thing Adam saw was just the woman. Maybe grabbing things, having fun with her, while the woman is talking to the serpent. Adam only saw the woman. So as the woman getting things from the serpent, oh, give me some. Oh, and then she's passing to him. Okay, you want some, honey? Okay, and then oh, you want some, honey? But Adam is eating. Yeah, baby, I want some. As he was grabbing her ass and everything, having fun, and then Eve is taking things. And oh, you want some, honey? Take some of that fruit. And take some of that voodoo stuff. Take some of that weed. Adam, oh yeah, baby, yeah. But Adam still focused. Not, how the hell with the weed? His weed was the woman. That's why one thing I noticed when it comes to drugs, when it comes to weeds, whatever drugs, men sell weed the most. They sell drugs the most. Women take it more. Women enjoy drugs more than men. That's what I'm seeing. Men just sell it, and some take it too. Women love drugs more. Women love religion more. Men only go to a church, to a temple somewhere, as long as there's some women there. If there's no woman there, no man's going. The men that's there, they're wasting their time. No other men coming. You want to build a religion? You want men to start following something? Put some women in there. Men is coming. No women, men is not coming. You see, the women, they don't mind if there's no men. The women, they don't mind. Because a bunch of women, they're next to each other talking. Yeah, what's up, girl? They don't mind. They can do that for the rest of their lives. They can do. They have fun. They talk to each other. Whatever, girl. Let me tell you. They don't mind. There's no men there. But a man, he's not going somewhere if there's no women. Adam proved that. Adam trying to tell the Most High, look, I think you chose the wrong guy to do this mission, because guess what? I'm by myself. It's like, yo, if I don't get a woman soon or something, he didn't want to put it like this, but in other words, that's what he was trying to tell the Most High. If I don't get some ASS quick, man, if I don't start having some women, just start having fun, you're going to have to create somebody else, because I'm not doing that. That's, hey, I understand I got all the sheep to eat, although I'm not eating them yet. I got all the animals, they all listen to me. I got all the trees, I got mango, avocado, lemon to do juice. I got all this. But if you don't give me a woman soon, listen, man, the deal is off. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I'm telling you, that's what it is. If the Most High had put the woman there by herself, no man, there's a big possibility that woman would still be there by herself in that garden. She would still be there by herself. She would have been playing with the flowers, she got food, especially like, okay, now she ain't got to listen to no men to tell her what to do, because that's exactly what happened. The Most High told Adam to tell Eve what to do, but Eve didn't know that the Most High told Adam to tell her what to do. So as soon as Eve came out, he's like, nah, I'm not listening to you. That's your business. Whatever what? Nah, I'm going over there. But I guess the rule wasn't there yet. Or Eve, the Most High didn't come to Eve personally, to yo, Eve, you don't want your mother, I'm slap you. This guy, well, listen to this guy. Don't play that game. But the Most High didn't do that. The Most High just told Adam, yo, you go handle business. You teach your wife, because Adam was there first. The Most High told Adam taught Adam everything. But Adam went and told Eve, yo, this is the plan. This is what the Most High wants. This is, But because it was Adam saying it, Eve said, hell no, I'm not doing that. I'd rather go to the serpent and see what the serpent's going to make me better than what you got for me. And then she went there. And then that's when the Most High told Eve, Eve, I understand why you did this, because I didn't make the rule clear enough to you. But from starting now, you was Adam. Adam is the boss now. There's no 50-50. It's not America. There's no 50-50 no more. You better listen to Adam. Because if Adam comes to me and say, you're not listening, you're going to have a big problem. And at that point, Eve had to relax. So that's my assumption with that story. But let me this video is getting longer and longer. Let me the point I was trying to make with the time thing. See, I'm saying all this. It's like a book. It only has 1 point to prove. But you gotta read the whole book, and then you get to the point. Like, oh, finally, the point is here. It's like a movie. So I tell all this. I go to other stories that has nothing to do with the story, just to get to the point. One point I'm trying to make, although I got another point with Deuteronomy, with the raise him a prophet like unto thee. But before that, I had another point, and that point was that chronology thing. I already broke it down real quick from how is it 6,000 years, and then boom to Adam. The last 1,000 years from Adam to Noah, from the 5,000, like I was saying, you added at 6,000 years. So Adam was here 6,000 years ago. Now here's the point. Now, why I said all this about the year thing. I said it twice. I said it from Adam to us, then I took it from us back to Adam, to make sure you really understand that chronology thing. That Adam was really 6,000 years ago. And people been on earth way before that. So now, and Adam is not the father of everybody on earth. Adam is the father of only one type of people on earth. That's it. One type of people on earth. So now, if Adam was here 6,000 years ago, right now, I'm sure a lot of us, we've read a lot of books out there. Not all of them are true. Some are true, some are false. But at this point, I'm sure we all can agree that there were people. They have found bones of people that's like 20,000 years ago, 30,000 years ago, whatever it is. You have people on Earth that claim that they have genes that goes back to people that got extinct 15,000 years ago. You got, you read books that say, well, the white people, they have Neanderthal genes. They have a certain percentage of Neanderthal genes. They probably say like, oh, we got like 3-4% of Neanderthal genes in us. And they say, well, the Chinese people and the Asian people, they got more Neanderthal genes than us. I'm not making this thing up. You can go read it in a lot of books. You can even Google it. So they'll clearly say, well, we noticed that us, white people say, well, the so-called European people, the European white, the regular Donald Trump white, Joe Biden type of white, say, well, we can see that, white people have a little percentage of Neanderthal genes in them, a certain little percentage, and the Asian, they want to put more on the Asian people, the Chinese, like, well, those people, they have way more Neanderthal in them, because Neanderthal is like subhuman. They're not really, So if you're a human mixed with something that is subhuman, then you're not 100% human, because now you got something in you that's like mixed. It's like saying, well, we're human, but we got 5% dogs in us. Well, at that point, you cannot be 100% human. You're like 95% human and 5% dogs. So you're not a whole human. So that's how I'm seeing this when they say, oh, we have 3% Neanderthals in us. And the Neanderthals, they weren't really like regular humans. They were like some funny type of human. Some they didn't even talk. They didn't even walk no more. They're like different type of human. So if white people, white scientists, gonna make this claim that they have Neanderthal genes in them, and the Asian people also have Neanderthal genes in them. Now, when you read about Neanderthals, they said, well, Neanderthals, they've been stopped living on Earth at least 15,000 years ago. So the last Neanderthal dude that died, supposedly died at least 15,000 years ago. So in other words, the only way for any human being saying they have Neanderthal genes and some type of creatures that stop breeding, stop living 15,000 years ago. So that means that just goes back to when these people were around. When these people, at least 15,000 years ago. So if Adam now, who was only 6,000 years ago, there's no way he could have had Neanderthal genes, because Neanderthals would have been extinct at least from from the time of Adam, 6,000 years ago, at least 9,000 years, not 9,000 years before Adam. That that would have been the last of Neanderthals walking, and then boom, and then 9,000 years later, the Muslims say, "Oh, let me make Adam." You know, so that would say then anybody with Neanderthal genes cannot come from Adam. If not, Adam came way later. Came way later. So those scientists that keep claiming that, well, Mongoloid people, the Asian Mongoloid, they got Neanderthals in them, and the white people, they're just white in color, but you can see they are really people from India, the Indian people that just have no color. They got the same hair, they got the same nose, same lips, same their physiognomy is just like the Indians, but the only thing is they have no color. They have no melanins. So a white person really, like Hitler said, is really a so-called Aryan, although Hitler had it totally wrong with the Aryan thing. But at least what he was trying to say, we're really Indians we're just bleached Indians. We're just white Indians. White means light Indian. Indians, light-skinned Indians. So they're really the same people. It's just that somehow when you analyze India, you see all the things that be happening to people over there. As if there's some type of something in the air, some type of radiation keep flying around that cause people to be born with all type of mutation. You got this guy that born with tails. Like what? You had this little boy that born with a bunch of hair in his face, like a dog. You got all type of things. If you go check India, check things about India, even on Facebook, you'll see a lot of mutation you see has to do with people in India. And then in the Indian history, whatever, they always claim there was some type of nuclear war that happened like thousands years before, long time ago, gods was fighting gods, as if, they were using some heavy artillery, heavy nuclear bombs, and then that left radiation over there. That left all type of things. It's just like they did to Japan. And after they dropped the bomb there, the bombs, I don't know how many bombs, but after they dropped it there, even kids that were born later, they were being born with some type of mutation. One kid born with, 2 heads or whatever. All type of things as if there's some type of radiation thing going on over there. So that's what I'm gonna say with the Adam and Eve thing, with Adam and the serpent thing, and the little chronology of Adam, and then now when you compare it with the people with Neanderthal genes, then there's no way I would say that these people came from Adam. I already know if a man that was walking 6,000 years ago, he cannot be the father to. You have people that can trace their genes all the way before him. And whether Neanderthal story are all true, at this time, I think we can agree that people are way older than 6,000 years old. Human beings, they have found bones way older than 6,000 years old. So I think I explained as much as I could explain with the Jesus thing, because this thing was supposed to be about the Jesus thing, with scriptures that being used to prove that Jesus was prophesied in the Bible, and we just use only one scripture so far, and I spoke for like a long time, just Deuteronomy, and I didn't even get to finish Deuteronomy, and I already spoke for a long time. Deuteronomy 18 that being used for Jesus, But as you read down, you'll notice that all that verse was saying, all the Most High was saying, you Israelites, when it's time to listen to a prophet, first the prophet has to come from the Most High. As you read down, you'll say, if now that prophet, if he's speaking something and that doesn't happen, he didn't come from the Most High. So this is not talking about one guy saying, I will raise one guy from the midst, to become. No, it was giving Israelites back then an idea on, what kind of people to consider prophets. That's why I started with saying those other dudes from 10 to 5, 10 to 15, these are not prophets. These are bugged out psychics, those who believe in some crazy stuff. And then after that say, well, for you guys, this is who you listen to as prophets. I don't know. Let me see if there's any more after 18. Verse 19. And it shall come to pass that whosoever will not hearken unto my words, which he shall speak in my name, I will require it of him. That's for every prophet. That's not for Jesus. That's for every prophet. The Most High said, look, it shall come to pass. When I tell these guys to tell you guys something, whoever don't listen, that person is going to be in trouble. Now, verse 20. But the prophets who shall presume to speak a word in my name, which I have not commanded him to speak, or who shall speak in the name of other gods, even that prophet shall die. Now, verse 20 even expounds more on what I'm saying. It said, look, this good prophet, whatever he says, that I tell him to say, whoever don't listen, gonna be in trouble. But the bad prophet, it's not talking about now a bad Jesus now. It's talking about prophet in general. Now, this other type of prophet now, that go and speak some dumb stuff I never told him to speak, he needs death. Well, if you notice, Jesus was supposed to be, if that was talking about Jesus as a good prophet, and he got death. And they say, well, his death was to save people from their sins. Human beings, I don't even understand humans. You do your dirt, but you want somebody else to die for you. What kind of BS is this? Church, that's all church is. A bunch of, oh man, I want to use some bad words, but a bunch of people, they're going to do the crime, but they want somebody else to do the time for them. That makes no sense at all. Huh? Yeah, for God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten son, so whoever believes in him, he shall not perish. Really? Does that make sense? This guy got his son, but he loved the criminals so much. The people doing all the bad things. He loved them so much, he's willing to kill the good son that didn't sin. This makes no sense at all. That's like, I got like two sons. One of them is bad, doing all the bad stuff. Just to show how much I love him, I'm going to beat up the good son. Oh, wow. What kind of crack are you people taking? Even that'll be bad parenting. That's worse than bad parenting. That makes no sense at all. You know, how about you go do that to your kids? Beat up the good ones so that you can show love to the bad ones. What? You people are on crack. Worse than crack. Even if I had two dogs, one go, well, they wouldn't be inside the house. Let's say in the backyard. You know, I already trained him not to do his thing not to defecate in the right in the middle of the backyard. And I'm about to have a barbecue. Now I got two dogs. One of them, I trained both of them. One, listen, he knows I gotta walk him, and then he gotta go maybe in front of the neighbor's house down the block to do his thing, and then I pick it up. Not even in front of. That's what people do with their dogs. They walk their dogs down the block right in front of the neighbor's house, and then they stop with him. Let him take his thing there. Not in front of the house. This is crazy. You people are crazy. So I had two dogs. I trained both of them. One of them decides every time he has to do his thing, although I trained him, he's gonna do it right in the middle of the of my yard. And then the other good one, he goes and do his thing outside. Now, when I bring him back, when I find the dog doodle on the floor, I start beating the good one just to show the bad one that I love him. Uh, I don't know what to say. Wow. They say the mind is a terrible thing to waste. A lot of you people are wasting your mind in dumb stuff, things that Bugs Bunny stuff, lies. I don't even see how that sounds good. That sounds very bad. You're gonna beat up for God so loved the world. John 3:16. That's every Christian favorite thing. And I like too much when the Christianites, the Israelites now, when they're going against the church guys, say, yeah, John 3:16. You Christian love saying John 3:16. Well, it's in the New Testament. That means if you believe in Jesus, you should like John 3:16 too. For God so loved the world. Then they say, well, the world he was talking about, he wasn't talking about the whole world. He was talking about the Israelite world. Man, you guys are bugged out. No, he was talking about the world. For God so loved the world that, he gave his only begotten son, and whosoever, wow, whosoever, if you've been the biggest murderer, that's for you also. Whosoever. If you've been a guy that's been going around raping 2-year-old girls, that's for you too. Whosoever. If you've been going around, if you're a farmer, every time you have a sheep, you keep having sex with that sheep. But, once you want to change your mind and be with Jesus,